Hello, everybody. Today, day 203. Yep, 203. The past four videos have been, on average, like fucking 20 minutes long. I don't think this will be the case today. You don't have to worry. All right, we don't have much to go through. Or maybe we do. I have no idea. So, let's just get a move on. Yesterday, what did we do yesterday? It's so cold. That's the first thing. It's terribly cold tonight. But yesterday we were talking about. That's right. I'll show you guys the revisions, potential new developments, and we ended it off having to create our mock-ups for the next version. Safe to say that is pretty much done. All I really need to do is finalize the graphics and then just put them on the mock-up. Arrange them in a nice way, make sure it looks good. Might have to make a new graphic, but it doesn't matter. It wouldn't take too long. Now, it is 11:50. Uh, I would not be telling the truth if I would say that I've been doing work for the past few hours. Quite frankly, have not. We did pretty much. We were doing work from like 12 p.m. up until 5:30, and then I kind of clocked out from there. I don't know. Something just got a hold of me. Wasn't feeling like it. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, we. I guess it's maybe we've partially accomplished everything we needed to do. So yeah, this is what a unfinished mock-up looks like. I think tomorrow, I think it'll be done by tomorrow. I'll have this downloaded onto the computer, and I'll actually show you guys in depth what the mock-up looks like. But it's looking good so far. I'm proud with how it's coming out. And we also had, I remember last night we wrote some confirming details on what we needed to finalize. So we can go through those now. So our first one, it was, do we proceed with two-tone? I wrote it in blue plan. No. I tried it this morning. This afternoon. Took me like an hour. Did not look good. The blue and gray, albeit made sense, but in the end, it looked fine. But it wouldn't be. I wouldn't wear something like that. So yeah, that was kind of quite a factor into why I decided to not go through with that. It's just not something I would wear. You know. So somewhat personal preference. But I'm definitely like just the normal gray as it is. Literally just default gray. I'm loving how that is looking right now. We're still continuing with the blue plaid to kind of have the consistency of the colorways. That way it kind of matches, which is great. It's looking great. We ultimately also went with blue stripes for the blue hoodie and white stripes for the gray hoodie. I believe the white on blue also works, but a little louder, and I feel like it doesn't match as well. Like, look, this is the white stripes. You can't even tell, but it's so blue. But this is the white stripes, and then this is the blue stripes. Like, you can tell one's significantly brighter. The white just doesn't work in my opinion. I'm not feeling it. I feel like the blue is a lot more calmer. Yeah, but it works. You know, the white stripes works astonishingly well with the gray here. So when that comes out, that will look absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. And on top here, we have these 5 graphics I had to tediously outline in color white in the silhouettes. It took so long. It took me like an hour to do all 5. Uh, and then we'll fill up those with some text like we did with the first graphic. Collage them around amongst the other, you know, sorry, amongst the hoodie. And then boom, that should be it for the assemblance of the hoodie. I made sure with the stitching that I kind of evenly spaced out the margins. That way we have left some allowance, fabric allowance to sew it all up and then fray it, the stitching. So yeah, I basically confirmed everything I needed to confirm. Just making up the mock-up. We still have time. You know, the sample's not here yet. Once the sample gets in here, I'm gonna do my little rundown, my tests on everything, and then I'm going to what is it? I'm going to create my revision sheet, create the next tech pack, and just get that second sample and variation in as soon as possible. So yeah. And I also think soon, probably within the next week, I'm looking. We'll see how I feel about this next week, but I'm looking to open up the personal brand, specifically the YouTube account. I want to start posting videos. I feel like it'll be fun. Puts a little more effort in my day. It gives me a little more things to do because, quite frankly, recently the days have been feeling a little bland. 6 hours of work, sure, but you know, I feel like a lot more could have been done today, and there's a lot more room to be done. So we're gonna revise the whiteboard. Um, if we wanna start up the personal brand, we still need a tripod. I think this is the third time. So this is the third week that I've continued on this tripod goal, tripod task. Next is probably revision sheet development. One thing I also forgot to do, hang tag. Sorry, let me reword that. Not just hang tag, prepare hang tag for the manufacturer. Because although I made a mock-up design for the hang tag, I didn't actually prepare it in the way that they need the graphic files and everything. I didn't prepare it in that way for them to be able to actually produce the tag. So yeah, prepare hang tag for the manufacturer. Honestly, I don't even know what else. I don't really know. Yeah. I guess finish the mock-up. Probably should have been up further, but I already kind of know that. And just overlook future campaign. I always forget to just kind of take a step back, look at the bigger picture, see what I'm dealing with, what is supposed to be happening next, and just making sure that everything's in check, going well, or if there's any change of plans that yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much it for today. I will say I did some early morning cardio, played some basketball, ran around. I think I overate, which is like so. I just don't know why, bro. I feel like we have gone through such developmental change in the past 6, 7 months that I'm almost like a nearly new person, bro. And it feels like everything I do now doesn't even remotely, align with or it's not even remotely connected to anything that I was all those months ago. Like I'm like a whole new person now, um, which is crazy to think about. This journey of trying to become self-sustained has pushed me as a person into unimaginable heights. And, I've gained a higher outlook on life. I've gained a more broader, you know, broader wisdom, I guess, more esoteric knowledge through experience. But with that comes offsides, the downsides, I guess. I feel like I'm struggling to maintain things that I, used to be able to maintain pretty well, like relationships and especially the gym, bro. Like my health, like I don't know, bro. Before it was like it was so easy. Like I would just go to the gym, and that was kind of the only big task I had for the day. But now I have this whole thing, and so I'm not to say it's a burden or a liability, but it's eating up so much of my time, my effort, my energy, and to be able to truly, achieve something great in your desired field, you need to give it your all. You need to provide all your energy and your effort into it. So it's really hard for me to code switch, into different kind of mindsets. Like I like to, when I enter a flow, it's so hard for me to kind of try and leave that flow. And when I break the flow, it's over. Like I really can't, you know, it's hard to regain the flow. So I don't really know how I can alleviate that. Maybe what I'm thinking is like more timely schedule where I schedule stuff. I do schedule things, but that's kind of like by the hour. Like I say, oh, at 12 I'll go to the gym. At like so I'll be awake at 10 a.m. in the morning, and I'll say, okay, at 12 I'll go. I don't really know if that's scheduled. Maybe I need to schedule my work. Get home, and then yeah, that might be a good thing. Okay, we're gonna do that today. We're gonna do that right now. It's currently 12 a.m. 11:57. Probably be asleep by 1 at the most. Tomorrow's a Saturday. I don't know what time I'll go gym. I think it's better to plan it on the day because I'm low key a very spontaneous person, as in I'm always out and about doing random things, random times, unplanned events. It's really fucking stupid. My life is so chaotic. But I still find, I still put in efforts to create structure. And I think I've been lacking a bit of that structure right now. I can really use that. I think I don't have to have it all figured out as long as I'm sticking to one thing. I feel like that one thing connects everything, connects the dots to it all. So as long as I get the gym, you know, on point, everything else connects. Like I've been going gym. Like the amount of times I sold out the gym today or this week, I actually went. I went 3 days because I actually only wanted to go 3 days, which is great. Um, maybe I'll try 3 days and then incorporate some cardio into that. Because really, what I'm looking for the most out of it is burning calories. Trying to get the most out of burning calories. Because then I think that's how it was so easy for me before. I was on average. Okay, I don't want to look at that because, you know, trying to compare myself to the past, like I said, I'm nothing like I was all those months ago. Comparing myself to who I was in that state before, it's almost like, comparing a monkey to a fish in a fucking in their two respective environments. Like it's just, it's not the same. You can't apply those principles and whatever that work ethic, that mental state that I had back then, right now, is what I believe. Um, so it's a little different now, and it's kind of hard to live with that, knowing that at one point I was in a better state health wise. Um, But now I feel like it's the path is, I don't know, it's a little more wonky. I got to get there myself through some different means. I got to look at it at a different angle. And right now, what's working for me is just consistent 1% steps. You know, I'm not even gonna. I was about to say something. I was about to be like, because back in my day, back in those times, but yeah, I gotta get out of that mindset, that headspace that it is true. I did have it better because health is objective. I guess you can objectively look at it, stats, there's numbers, and I can't lie, I can't deny the fact that I was much healthier back then. But yeah, it's just right now it's a different game. I'm playing on a different level now. It's harder to balance. It's just a lot harder. But right now, what's working? 1% consistent steps, getting 1% better every day. You know, uh, cause yeah, I was trying to do the things that I was doing last. Back then, I was trying to put up those numbers again. I'm not comparing myself right now, but I'm saying this is kind of how it was before. So that's kind of put me in this state like, if I can do it once, I can do it again. Like, you know, but it kind of made me realize like, holy shit, how was I doing this before? Like I used to burn like thousands of calories a day on average. Like it's kind of like SGA right now in the NBA. Like he's averaging 30. Like if I had burned any less than 1,000 calories in a day, then it was a bad day. Like it was always like 1,200, 1,400. My most calories I've ever burned a day was like 2,800. It was after like 3 hours of basketball straight. Um, yeah, safe to say, I'm not at that physicality anymore. Uh, Nor do I even play with any more people who would ever even put up 3 hours of basketball. But yeah, what's working right now is taking it slow, taking it moderately, one step at a time, and eventually, being able to ramp it up. I don't want to. I've been trying to strike hard. If I just like go hard, but that's very, it dies out pretty fast. You put in a lot of effort after being, dead for a while, being silent. You try and kick it back in full throttle, dies out. It doesn't work. I cannot burn 1,500 calories a day like I used to. Uh, but yeah, what matters right now is that I'm taking it slow. I've, I'm glad that I get the opportunity out of the day to, kind of work within my own terms. Uh, I get to go gym whenever I please. Uh, I get to just have that free will. But yeah, what matters is I'm taking it slow, taking it one step at a time, and just giving myself, that space. This is not a race, it's not a rush. I just gotta consistently keep going. And I think it all just comes from a matter of love. When you believe in your mind that you are not where you want to be right now, you are objectively telling your mind that, you know, all these things that I desire, it merely means I simply am not that or I do not have that right now. Me, wanting to be fit, have a six pack, all that, be at this specific weight. It's just, if anything, it works in the negative. It's not a motivation. It just simply tells my brain, oh, okay, so you're not any of those right now. Because you're putting these expectations on yourself and these comparisons. But what really matters is that you accept yourself right now in the state where you are. You're happy, and you do it out of love, and you change out of just respect for yourself. And I've been self-loathing and digging myself in this hole, telling myself, I'm a fat fuck, which is, yeah, obviously it's true, but you need to kind of accept it first and move on. I feel like I kind of refused for all these months to take that accountability because, obviously, who would want to put themselves in such a belittling, circumstance like, wow, you've really let yourself go. But if you don't do that, you can't move on. You can't accept the state you are in right now, and therefore it's even harder for you to move on from it and grow from it. Like I've been, yeah, refusing to accept that this is who I am right now. Because yeah, it's honestly, who wants to accept something like that? But you just kind of have to. I think that's really how it is. You accept that this is who you are right now. It doesn't have to be this way. You are the captain of your own ship, of your own fate. You decide how this ends, and you can shift things. You have the power to shift things. If you are not, if you don't, if you're not where you want to be right now, but you understand that, this is just who you are, then yeah, things can look out better for you. But it all comes, it starts with acceptance. So little by little, uh, I just kind of take things as they come, and yeah, day by day, I'm accepting myself a little more in all the aspects that I am. So yeah, I think this brand as well has helped me to, kind of reflect on myself in those aspects. And so along with the brand, I myself as a person am growing as well. So I like the way we're headed. So on that note, this is day 203. It has been a journey. Um, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.